Welcome back. My name's Antonio and I'm a union carpenter, and I want to talk about downtown Portland. Now, as a union carpenter, the state of downtown is actually really depressing because not only does it affect our wages and the work we do. I love the city of Portland. I love Oregon in general, and to see like what's going on with the lack of foot traffic, I think it's depressing. As a kid, I've grown up in Oregon my whole life. I've seen it be a lot more vibrant. I've seen it be a lot more safe for our children down there. So I kind of want to give a boots on the ground perspective, unbiased, not media driven, not fear mongery perspective, but also be honest about like what's going on as far as the economy, the economic impact it's going to have on our trades, and just talk about what I seen myself boots on the ground downtown. Was it as bad as it's portrayed maybe on Fox News? No. But is it as like rosy as like some people like to think it is? Also no. So I kind of want to give both those perspectives and show you guys what I'm thinking about downtown. Let's get into it. Now let's talk about the current state of commercial real estate downtown. For the first half of 2023, the vacancy rate for commercial real estate was 26% in the first quarter, and it was shot up to 28% in the second quarter. And that's what I've seen being downtown, walking around. It seems like about on every corner, about one building is vacant, especially for the retail sector on the bottom. Obviously, I can't go upstairs and see, what's going on in the buildings. It kind of feels like those numbers make sense, and it does seem like those are accurate. And getting closer to Pioneer Square, it seems like the vacancy is increasing. So maybe there's some areas, like some pockets of downtown, that don't have as much vacancy, but getting closer to Pioneer Square, it seems like the vacancies are going up a lot higher. It seems like every street, there's multiple portions of the building that are vacant. So I think that's concerning, especially for union carpenters. We definitely got to keep an eye on that. That high vacancy rate is definitely going to affect us carpenters, especially now that the Ritz-Carlton is finished and the Pearl District is kind of maxed out where we can actually build down there. It's very important to kind of look at what does the outlook look like, especially with the work from home model becoming more prevalent. More people want to no longer be in the office, so the demand for office space is definitely going down too. I could see the vacancy rate going even higher, so it doesn't bode well for commercial real estate downtown. I can definitely say that. Now we are seeing a notable shift towards tenant improvements and affordable housing and just remodels in general and repairs, so that's a good thing. I know my company has definitely been doing a lot more affordable housing, taking older buildings that maybe are historical and making them into housing. But one of the problems with, those remodels is there's a lot more risk involved. It's kind of hard to gauge how much things are going to cost because you don't know what's behind each wall. There could be asbestos, there could be lead. There's a lot of unknowns when it comes to remodels. It's so much easier to deal with a project when you have the engineer you can call, the architect. With older buildings, a lot more difficult. I worked at the historic US Bank building for 2 years, and that was a great experience as far as apprenticeship. I did so many things, but one of the craziest parts about that job was just opening up a wall and it being totally different than what the architects expected. So there's a lot more like RFIs and calling back and forth and trying to fix things or try to build a new game plan. So there's definitely different challenges that maybe some contractors might not be up for. So that's just one of the aspects of, remodels and tenant improvements that kind of go unseen by us carpenters. Another thing you're seeing is businesses downtown are definitely struggling as far as like vandalism, homelessness, the drug use, the retail theft is definitely having an impact on downtown. Working from home, you're not seeing the same vibrant atmosphere downtown, or the hustle and bustle. You're not seeing a lot of professionals being down there, so you're seeing a lot of places that really thrive on foot traffic really struggling, like independent coffee shops, dry cleaners, food carts. I've seen a lot of the food carts have, being closed at like 10 o'clock or like 11 o'clock, especially the smaller ones. So you're definitely seeing the impact. And I think it kind of creates like a doom loop where, the less traffic there is, the more businesses close, less foot traffic there is. So you're definitely seeing that happening right now with downtown. And the theft and the social issues are definitely not helping. You just randomly breaking a window is not going to improve the circumstances of you or your family. You see that a lot. I was walking around and you're seeing so many buildings have one window being covered in plywood because it's been broken into. I even passed a salon that had some carpenters working on a building, and someone just randomly came through and just broke one of the windows just for no reasons.
Somebody broke that window.
So like there's definitely that social aspect going on too that's like not helping things. And when you see places like Starbucks leaving, Target leaving, those bigger anchors for a downtown leaving, it definitely is going to have some kind of impact. The one places that I definitely seen thriving, it seems like, are banks, because they have that national backing. Obviously, they don't have things you can actually steal inside the store, so that's a thing. But for Portland to really kind of be revived and have a turnaround, we definitely got to tackle some of these issues, especially like the homelessness and the drug use. I don't know what the actual answers are per se, but we definitely have to work on these things together, because right now, what we're doing right now is definitely not working. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you guys, are you guys experiencing some of the same things in your cities, or is that just something that's happening in Portland? I know a lot of times the West Coast is getting a bad rap for the homelessness and the drug use and the retail theft, but are these same things happening in cities that you live near? Are you seeing the same vacancies and, like, you know, just downward economic pressure in your major cities because of the work from home? So let me know what you guys are experiencing in your cities in the comment section. Let's get back to the video. Now, speaking from a consumer slash customer perspective, downtown is a lot more high risk and low reward when it comes to shopping down there or even walking around down there. There's a lot of homelessness, people going through mental psychotic episodes who are not really controlling their mental faculties. It's really difficult, and especially if I have my son with me, he's 4 years old, people are constantly like doing drugs and they're getting high, and so a lot of people are smoking fentanyl down there, and we all know how potent fentanyl is. I couldn't even imagine if my son touched something with some drugs on it, what that would do to me, do to him. Like, it's just not worth it for the most part. So it's very hard for businesses to drum up that support after the pandemic is over, people to come back to their establishments if all these things are going on right outside of their establishments. I've seen some places have to be completely boarded up, but they're still functional, they're still open, but it's not very inviting. And with all the retail theft that's going on, with everything being locked up and you can't use the bathroom, it just makes it very inhospitable for people to want to, you know, travel from wherever they live to go downtown to then spend money. It just doesn't make any sense, especially when you can go to the malls or be in the suburbs. They have all the big chain stores that are still downtown, but also it's a way safer environment, and you don't have to worry about people doing drugs actively right next to you. So we got to look at that too. And plus, most of us carpenters that I know don't live in Portland. We live in the suburbs and travel there. And so, I mean, is it bad? It is. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is it Mad Max bad? Is it like Detroit bad? Is it like how bad it was in the 90s where you're worried about actually getting shot or killed? No, but at the same time, like, that shouldn't be the benchmark for our city. I think we can do a lot better, and it kind of just depends on what we're willing to do as far as the drugs and the homelessness. There's no easy answer, especially when it comes to, should we be put in prison for just doing drugs and actively damaging your body? I don't think so. But at the same time, should you be doing drugs right out in the open in front of children? Again, I don't think so. Leaving syringes, getting high in bathrooms and overdosing where it makes it inhospitable for every single other person besides yourself, I don't think so. We have to find that balance as a city and as a state when it comes to the drugs and the homelessness. I think that it's gonna be difficult, right? If you keep pushing things off to the government, then it's never gonna be solved. I think it's really incumbent on us to make these changes. Now let's talk about some of the recovery efforts. I definitely think that, you know, the work has definitely picked up compared to how it was in like 2020. I'm seeing that as a carpenter right now. I'm seeing there's a lot more tenant improvements going on, so that is a benefit. And I think we can strike a balance. I've seen these things kind of like in Boston where you have a historic facade, like a building on the outside, but then they tear off the roof and they build up still. So I think Portland has opportunities to improve the downtown area. It's just going to take us rolling up our sleeves as citizens, as union members, to try to just demand more and also engage more ourselves. I think it's very hard to just put off all the responsibility to our elected officials if we're not willing to do anything about it. I think that we have to vote better. We have to understand the policies better. We have to become more engaged if we want to see more benefits for us in our city. Because again, if Portland falls down, you know, a death spiral, that it doesn't matter like, oh, well, they voted for it, you know, that's what they get type energy, because it's going to affect everybody in the trades. It's going to have a negative effect on all of us carpenters. So we have to think about that when we talk about, you know, what's going on downtown and how we can improve it. I think moving forward, the most important thing is going to be adaptability. As carpenters and Oregonians, downtown may have a little further to fall, especially with interest rates being so high. We may see some buildings go bankrupt. We might see some new blood coming in. So just being adaptable to see new solutions to these problems we have right now. I don't think downtown is going to go back to the way it it was before. I think we're going to see some more pivots, maybe some more partnerships with the government, maybe building more affordable housing down there, turning some of those buildings into affordable housing. So we'll just see. But also, there are plenty of places in Oregon that have been neglected that could definitely use some rejuvenation, building more apartments, condos, townhouses. Entry-level housing is definitely going to be important. So maybe us pivoting towards more residential, whatever it takes, just to maybe calm some of these waters and fix some of the ills that are going on in Portland. I think it definitely beneficial. I think people having a stake in the city is important. If everybody is a renter and they can't really afford to have their own little piece of the pie, I think it's very hard for them to really care about what's going on as a society as a whole. So having the ability to buy your own house or having your own property, I think seems really important. So I think if we can pivot towards building more and just making things a little more affordable, I think will definitely make a dramatic change for our city, and I think a lot of major cities, period. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. If you guys have any comments, please comment them down below. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Peace.